Hello everybody. This is a very poorly shot video made to show you how to use synchronized effects with Ninjam in Reaper, specifically a MIDI sequencer and an audio looper. If you're not already familiar with Ninjam, check out Kenny's professionally produced video. It will explain the basics. Here's a project with ReAPER+ReaNINJAM already loaded. We'll create another track and put a VSTI on this track. Additionally, we will add the JSFX sequencer MegaBaby. Add it to the chain and put it above the VSTI in the list. Sequencer MegaBaby is a sequencer which plays along with the Reaper project and has a configurable length and rate. On the left side of the sequencer display, there are a number of notes. If you right-click these notes, it will play that note to the sequencer. And if you left-click and drag, you can change them. So if they aren't mapped to anything, you can go and drag it until it gets to the sound you want. And then it will be that sound. So this sequencer you might want to record on this track just to keep the latency down too. But I'll do that. So when you play the project, you can go and say, oh, there's a hi-hat, so you can go do 4 hi-hat hits. And then that was the kick, so you do kick. The snare was up in here. And say maybe do some more hi-hat hits. And if you control or command on the Mac, left click, you can change the velocity of each of these hits. So you can give it a little more flair. So there you have it, a simple drum loop, but it's not synchronized to Ninjam, so let's add that now. So I've just made this a child track. I'm gonna edit this part out. Joining a random server. So now it's the Ninjam is running at 80 BPM and 16 beats per interval. Reaper is not, so what we can do is click the sync button and tell it to set the project tempo to our tempo. And we have Reaper at the correct tempo. And so if we do start Reaper playback on next loop, then when it loops, of course that doesn't work. So in order to make that work, you have to be at the right point in the playback cycle. So now we do it again. So now the loop is synchronized. And we can edit the loop as we go. So the other thing I wanted to show was the use of a audio looper that can be done synchronized as well. So for this, we're going to use an audio input, which this is set to my guitar chain, and we'll use the plugin called Super8. And this looper has 8 inputs and 8 outputs. Each one corresponds to a channel. So we'll just set every input to receive the same and every output to go to both channels. The most convenient. convenient thing. There's also a monitoring output and a click output, but we won't really look at that. It has different modes for synchronization, and the project or playback are both useful for this situation. So it pulls the tempo and length from the project. For the length, it might be good to increase it to be 16, which matches the BPI of Ninjam. So now that that's done, we put it in the folder. We add a new thing, a new channel for the looper. We tell it that we want to send to the parent channels 3 and 4, which means we have to set this track to be 4 channels. This is all a bit complicated, but what are you going to do? So now try out our looper. If you click each channel, it activates it. And you can bind something to this action, which runs record or play on it. You do that by right-clicking and dragging to set the note or the CC if you have a MIDI input selected. But you can also just use the mouse, which a lot of people probably do. So this is the loop position here. So we can record whenever we want, really. Stop, play each one. To make this a little bit bigger, there's a reverse action. So yeah, you can go from there. Hope this is useful.